coach, any update on Kyle?
We'll see. You know, we're going to wait until game time to see how he's better today, but still not sure.
Was he able to do anything in Shootaround?
He was here. He was here.
Would the inclination be, if it's a 50-50 call, to rest him, just because over the last little while that's been kind of a focus?
Well, we'll see. I mean, if Kyle's, he's a different animal.
Yeah.
I think he's had his vacation or rest or whatever you want to call it, and I think if he can go, he'll go.
Yeah.
Dwane, the Bulls play this style where every night it's a grind. What do you like about their?
Well, the way, again, you know, they're more of an offensive team. You know, a lot like us. The defense is a little bit different now for whatever reason. They're still a very good defensive team. They hit you, grind you, hit first type team. You know, I like that part about it, and the way we had the lead for 2.5 quarters here the last time is what we were hitting first. But once we allowed them to attack us first, get into our bodies, stop us from cutting and that type of thing, that's when they turned the game around. 50-50 balls, they got into that. So that's the style of play that they play. That's a Coach Thibodeau type team. You know, but for us to be successful, we have to play that way, and we have done that in spurts against this team. But we got to do it like everyone else for a longer period of time.
That fourth quarter here, do you look back with complete anger, or was that a teaching tool? Or
well, anger should make you angry to see, you know, 50-50 balls you have opportunity to get, rebounds you have an opportunity to get, finishing plays at the rim that you have an opportunity to make, all those things, but it come because they outworked us earlier in the possession. And again, they're a 24-second possession team. You got to execute defensively for 24 seconds, the entire shot clock. Because if you don't, you know, they're going to be patient offensively, you know, you've got to be. You can't relax, because if you do, you're going to get back cut. If you do, you're going to get cut to the basket. If you do, you're going to get a kick out three, and they're patient that way offensively.
Case, do you see them sort of like you in a way that they're at their highest scoring rate since 95, 96, and here's a defensive team, and the lure of offense and the way the league is going, and
right.
I mean, it hit you this year. Has it hit them the same way?
Well, you know, they're still pretty good defensive, but they're more of an offensive team now than they are a defensive team. And you would never say that about a Chicago team, but they're still a good team defensively. Heinrich sets the tone defensively. You know, Butler's healthy, he sets the tone. So they still can get into you, but you know, they're sneakily scoring at a faster rate, playing at a faster pace, with Aaron Brooks running the show, with Snell running the floor, with Dunleavy running. They beat Indiana the other night with a lot of quick threes, a lot of quick shots in the possessions, more so than you would think with a Chicago team. But at the end of the day, they still want to, you know, grind it out, get hits defensively.
When you look at what Mirotic has been able to do in March, is it simply a case of a rookie figuring it out late in the season, or have you seen something else involved?
He's not your typical rookie, though. He's played a lot of basketball. He played a lot of basketball in Europe. I don't know how old he is, but he's not your typical out of college first-year rookie. You know, so he's ahead of the curve from that standpoint. I think one thing he's done, he's figured out the speed of the NBA, the physicality of the NBA, how teams play certain situations, and again, he's figured that out because he's always been a shooter, and so now he knows how he can get his shot off and within the NBA game.
What has he been doing to get to the line as frequently as he does, and how do you sort of guard against that?
Well, teams have started running him off of the three-point line, so now he's attacking the rim, getting contact at the basket, and you know, getting to the foul line. That's his alternative to standing out there knocking down three-point shots, and teams have kind of gone to that as far as, and then when you switch on him, he's attacking the big, getting into their bodies. So we got to make sure we understand what we're doing when we have certain people on the floor.
Dwane, do you think the guys get caught up at all in this matchup specifically? It's a conference game. It's a team that you're jockeying in the standings with. It's a team you could see in the playoffs, and all the various subplots to this.
Well, I'm sure they do. I mean, again, it's you know, it's a team that you enjoy playing against because they are good defensively, they are good offensively. So that has something to do with their playoff team right around us in our standings. That's important. But again, We can't get too carried away. It's still one of 82. We want to come out and still work on what we got to work on defensively, offensively. We got to execute against that type of team. So it's a big game for us to come out and continue to work to get better, to improve in a lot of areas of our game.
Dwane, what do you see that your team is doing well? I know you're talking about preparing for the playoffs, but when you look at your team, what do you see that they're executing in terms of your goals for this season?
Well, we're scoring the ball. We're still not where we need to be defensively, but we're scoring in a different way. I think we're going to have to score in a slower pace game in the playoffs. That's something we've got to be able to do. Defensively, we still are, struggling in certain areas. We got to continue to talk about, work on, take it as a challenge individually as much as anything else. But offensively, I would say we're ahead of the curve.